Well, July has begun, and I have a big video to start for the month. I'm doing a movie review and an anniversary for one video, like I always do. I pick a movie from 2002 in the family genre, like Mike. Yeah, kind of a random choice for a movie. Well, according to the release date, July 3rd, it turned 20 this year. Man, 2002 had so much family movies during that year. So yeah, for this video, I'm going to do a review on Like Mike and see how it holds up after these years. Let's begin with the story. Lil Bow Wow plays Calvin Cambridge, lives in an orphanage where he doesn't have parents. At night during selling chocolates, Calvin meets the coach where he accepts some tickets for the next basketball game. The next day, Calvin finds a pair of old sneakers with the initials MJ written. Sound familiar? Then a bully named Ox steals the sneakers and throws them onto a power line. So now Calvin has to retrieve the sneakers in a rainstorm, but he gets shocked by a lightning bolt. Calvin and his friends attend the game where during the second quarter game ends, a contest was held and Calvin's ticket number is called. He goes one-on-one with the team's player Tracy, and with the magic sneakers, Calvin ends with a slam dunk after bouncing the ball off the backboard. After that ovation, Calvin is signed to a one-day contract by the Knights. Everything is going well until the final game where it hits, but the team made it to the first playoff. Yeah, I spoiled it, but I think people will know what's going to happen at the end. Before we get to the main review, you want to know how I saw this movie. I remember seeing commercials of it on TV, just like any movies you've seen. Then my aunt gave my brother the VHS, and that's when I started watching the movie. While I don't care for sports much, at least it was worth it to watch in the sports genre of movies. So now let's get to the review of the movie. The movie is okay at best. Shocked? Well, let's get to the stuff I like and don't like. Let's get to the positives. The characters are pretty likable, for the most part. You have Calvin, a likable kid where he's good at basketball. Then you have Murph and Reg, two of Calvin's friends, when they're with him. There's Tracy Reynolds, a player of the Knights. At first the two didn't get along, but thankfully the two worked out. There's Coach Wagner, a coach in the team where he advises Calvin. Frank Bernard, where he's the public relations guy. There's Biddleman and Ox, which I have to talk about them in two different ways. I'll start with Biddleman first. Biddleman controls the orphanage. He grows desperate, and he steals Calvin's shoes. Now to Ox, he's a jock bully who gets jealous, but at the end, he's more sophisticated. So yeah, those are some of the characters that are likable, though they're nowhere near as good as the characters from Big Fat Liar. Now, for the story, it was different at the time when it came out. The whole sneakers being magic and going on the team, I like that change of the story. Some of the cameos of NBA players were neat to see. It's a bit pointless, but I remember some familiar faces. And yeah, I remember NBA in the 2000s, despite not a sports fan. But one thing in the movie I still like to this day, aside from the charm, is the song Basketball. I picked the Bow Wow version instead of the original song from the 80s. And yes, it is catchy, it's not my kind of jam. This version is my jam. It would be nice to customize that song in the NBA PS4 game. So yeah, that's all the good stuff in the movie. So now let's get to the stuff I don't like. Biddleman. While I like him fine, just feels like they wanted him to be the villain in the movie. I actually don't feel bad for actor Crispin Glover playing the role. He'll always be a great George McFly in Back to the Future. So yeah, just an excuse to have Biddleman as the villain. Now, Ox is a bully, which, if you know, I don't like bullies in media, with some exceptions. As a kid, I couldn't get into the character. As an adult, I actually have respect to him for the most part. Now, character aside, whoever casted Ox was a pretty good choice. That's actor Jesse Plemons, which after that would appear in shows like Breaking Bad. Who knew that he would be this good to act later on? So yeah, those are the two characters are the problems. I will say, Tracy and Calvin not getting along seems unoriginal, which that's one of the criticisms of the movie. Now, the plot can be complicated to follow at times, which I did have the same problem with Big Fat Liar. The humor in the movie is alright, nothing major aside from the joke where Calvin drives a car while Tracy's sleeping. That was pretty funny, I'll give it that. So yeah, there are some criticisms in the movie. So the question is, does Like Mike movie hold up, at least for me? I'm gonna say yes. Shocker, I know. For a movie about a tween kid participating in a basketball team, it's fascinating. Now how come it's not in my guilty pleasure movies list? Well, it's because it holds up fine and the movie doesn't have dumb moments. And while the reception is a little better than Big Fat Liar's receptions, at least it's fine as it is. Now, is the movie better than Big Fat Liar? The answer is no. Big Fat Liar is more smart than Like Mike. If the movie had more commentary than Big Fat Liar did, then yeah, it would have been on the same level. In fact, I placed Like Mike with the other three movies. Bottom line, the movie doesn't deserve in the guilty pleasures list. But I did have fond memories of watching it. So yeah, that is all I gotta say about Like Mike for a review and an anniversary video. Kind of obscure pick for a movie, but you know me, I heavily rely on nostalgic. That is all for the video. I'll see you guys for the next video.